Alright, new trade idea. This is going to be about Revolve Group, ticker symbol RVLV. Now, what is Revolve? If you take a look at its Instagram, it's a women's clothing company. Now, what do I know about women's clothing? Absolutely shit. I don't know anything about this. But I do know, when the company it's a 100% e-commerce company, and it does all its marketing on social media and stuff like that. So, what does that mean? Well, it said it was doing pretty well in January and February, and then in the middle of March, it issued this statement right here. It basically withdrew its guidance and said its business was doing extremely shitty at the end of March, and this makes sense. So it said it was basically up 20% year over year, January and February, and then in March it went down the toilet. Now, this is Bank of America data. Using its credit cards, how it tracks e-commerce. So if you take a look at the Revolve statement, this was issued March 20th. Now, the credit card statements from Bank of America, they show that throughout March, especially when the virus hit, in the middle of March, at the end of March, clothing for e-commerce was down up to minus 24%. So obviously this is reason enough to withdraw your guidance and issue warnings, and their earnings were definitely going to be hit this quarter. But let's take a look at what happened since then. So this was March 24th. This is the newest data, May 2nd, and clothing since that point has gone all the way back when you take a look at e-commerce. In fact, right now it's up 50% year over year, starting from basically the middle of April, which is clearly outside the scope of the guidance that was issued here, because this was issued on March 20th. Revolve reports earnings I think May 11th or May 13th. So this will be factored into the earnings in terms of guidance later on. So I'm thinking it's better than people think, because if you take a look at the yearly graph for Revolve, it's basically near all-time lows. Last time it reported was somewhere in February, all the way up here in the high teens, and it plummeted all the way back down to 7 when it issued its guidance. Now it's back up to 1184. Now the problem is I made the trade this morning around here, and since then it's already surged. If you take a look at my position right here, I have about 14k in options, but I've gained 35%. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to hold it. I guess that's too slow in making this video. So that's basically, oh yeah, the other thing I was going to talk about, because Revolve does all of its marketing around e-commerce, it basically pays the influencers and stuff. They're extremely flexible with their spend. You have a lot of other companies, when they have a lot of upfronts for TV spending, they can't change any of that. So if this company were in trouble, they can pause or start and stop their marketing whenever they feel like it. So they definitely have that going for them in terms of flexibility. And the last thing is, now e-commerce is clearly doing much better than regular in-person shopping. This is a 100% e-commerce company, so I imagine this data right here, it will have some relevance to what happens when it reports. I guess the worst thing that could happen is if they go into the report, they have a horrible Q1, as everyone expects, but they don't issue guidance or something. That would be pretty bad for the stock. And then I guess one more thing is, why don't we just check to see what the expectations are for this company. Now, Yahoo Finance doesn't have the previous years, but I already looked it up. So they're estimated for 140.82 million. Last year they sold 137 million in Q1. So we're basically looking only for a 3% increase. And when we take a look at their statement here, they said they were up 20% January, February, in the first week of March. So unless they plunged like 37% in the last 3 weeks of March, I think the revenue should be a beat. So we'll see what happens.